How you doing today? Ralph Rolle here, and I'm with Drum Dog, and we are going to talk about snare technique. When I was coming up learning how to play and watching some of my favorite drummers, like Clyde Stubblefield, for example, also my friend I always talk about in my neighborhood, Ricky Williams, I always talked about the sound that he would produce. And then when I started listening to James Brown records, they had this snare sound. Ricky had the snare sound that I really liked. And watching Ricky, I knew what was going on. And listening to Clyde Stubblefield, I was like, okay, that's the same snare sound. So one snare technique, I'm going to talk about two mainly today. One snare technique is a rim shot technique when you're playing a groove. And that means that you need to find the spot on the snare, which is the sweet spot. Now, most times what people will do is they will draw a small circle, maybe about 2 inches, 2.5 inches in the middle of their snare, and they will watch their hands as they hit that spot. So basically what it is you're using the bead of the stick, you're hitting the bead in that spot, but you're also hitting in the middle of the stick on the rim at the exact same time. And this is the sound that it will produce. You've heard that in a lot of James Brown records where you hear Clyde Stubblefield go, or he's just doing a groove and he's holding it with that rim shot sound. That's what it's called, a rim shot. But when you use it inside of a groove, it sounds really good. The thing is that you want to get that sound and make it accurate each time you hit it. So sometimes when I hear drummers playing like a snare rim shot sound for their 2 and 4 groove, I hear it moving around. I hear it sounding like this sometimes. The goal is to get your groove tight by keeping that sound consistent. You want it consistent throughout whatever groove you're doing, and I'll demonstrate what I mean. So. Now, how do you get to that point? It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of ear training, and a lot of technique. You have to be able to find that spot on your snare and match it each time with both hands. That is a great sound when you're playing funk, you're playing R&B, you're playing hip hop, you're playing rock. It makes it pop. Now, I've used that sound in the studio on some records, and I've had the producer say, you know what, it's popping a little too much. Can you just give me more snare? Just give me more of the actual snare sound. So instead of using the rim shot, what I've learned to do is find the sweet spot on the snare by just using the bead of the stick. Same type of groove, but you're not giving it so much of that pop, that rim shot sound. Same groove. Now, one of the easiest ways to get to that effect, especially when you're in the studio and you're trying to get that sound, is to just take your snare and angle it just a little bit towards you. That will keep the rim out of the way, but still give you the full snare sound. Now, I personally, have used that plus many other techniques, but I wanted to concentrate on the two of those because those are two of the prominent kind of sounds that you will use when you're playing live or playing in the studio. So I have learned to hone in on those techniques, as I said to you before, by finding the sweet spot on the snare. What you can do is just take a glass at home, take a magic marker, put it on the head, put it right in the middle, and just draw right around so you have a circle. And you will just watch yourself playing for hours on end, depending on how much time you have to practice. And that's how you will get that good snare technique, whether it is a rim shot sound or just a beat of the stick sound. Either one of those are good depending on what the song is asking for. Remember that. When you're using those techniques, it's all about what the music is asking for. It's all about what's good for the song. And those applications change with every single song that you play. You know, some of them might be the same type of application for a song, but it's that knowing the technique as to which one is proper to use. Okay? So that's two snare techniques that you could take with you. It is the rim shot sound and it is the open snare sound. Thank you.